What's up, everybody? I wanted to share with you my latest build that I've been running in the raid. And I'm going to say by far this is, the best build that I've had for the raid. It's taken a little while to get the proper gear for this. And I've got a couple of different options that I'm going to show you guys to kind of tweak the build, as well as some future options when the new patch hits, Title Update 4, that you might want to keep your eye out and prepare for. But in general, this is a build with the Eagle Bearer as my primary gun. I don't ever shoot this LMG unless I happen to run completely out of ammo and need something. The only reason I'm using it is because of the protected reload. And my secondary, I use this because of in rhythm. So I recommend protected reload and in rhythm. Doesn't matter what kind of guns you want. I'm actually looking for a AA-12 shotgun with strained and protected reload or in rhythm, so I can use that as a secondary. Because they actually have close range. You can crit up close with them, and you can get your health back real quick with clutch. Now, this is a berserk build with clutch. So I've got berserk on my chest and clutch on my gloves. I also have a build that doesn't have clutch, and it has a lot more health, but in general, I find the clutch to be better for me. I don't make that much more damage on the non-clutch version, and the clutch just saves me. It comes in clutch way more often. So I'm going to go over all the pieces of gear, but first I'm going to show you my stats. I've got 177,000 armor and 162,000 health. We're running 60% crit chance here, 24.1 weapon damage. This could be better if I re-rolled my Eagle Bearer, but I'm a little bit scared right now to keep re-rolling it. I don't have very many more exotic pieces, and I don't want it to be downgraded and have no more. So this could be better. But yeah, 60 crit chance, 47 crit damage, 88 headshot damage. And where's my damage to elites at? 87% damage to elites. Total, my all weapon damage bonus is 18.5. My assault rifle damage bonus is 26%. Currently, I run sharpshooter, because right now I think it's the best for assault rifles. It gives you that headshot damage. It gives you the stability, which is really nice for the Eagle Bearer. And it gives you the reload, which isn't as important for Eagle Bearer because of its crazy reload speed it has. But in the new patch, Title Update 4, we will not get the headshot damage on assault rifles anymore. Only marksmen and rifles. And they removed the reload speed as well. So the only reason you'd use it would be for the stability. But, however, there will be an assault rifle damage tree. Every single gun will be able to be spec'd into for every subclass now. So you still could use sharpshooter if you wanted it strictly for that stability. But I think I'm going to run demolitionist just because it's pretty nice. It gives that out of cover damage to your teammates. It gives the reload on armor drop. Like when your armor gets depleted, you get your gun reloaded. You also get immune from one explosion. Overall, it's pretty solid. You don't want the armor on kill from the new gunner spec for this build. But yeah, maybe I'll be back on sharpshooter. Or, I don't know. But I think I'm going to be doing demolitionist. So Eagle Bearer, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this does. It's pretty awesome. It's got huge base weapon damage. It's got the Eagle Strike. Accuracy increases as you continuously fire up to 100%. Headshot kills grant 100% reload speed, which is crazy, and 35% damage, and the tenacity buff for 10 seconds. Strength of tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots. So, what tenacity does is once you kill something in the head, you get that buff, you'll glow red, and what tenacity does is 20 to 80% of the damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active up to 100% with 5 kills. So, it's pretty cool. But it really only works good if there's headshots, if you can kill things with headshots. So if you're really bad at that, or if you're on console and you're struggling, because this gun does have a lot of recoil, you might be better off with like a good P416 and a Chatterbox or Nemesis. So let me know. I've tried it with both, with my P416 with strained versus the Eagle Bearer, and I'm finding that I actually like the Eagle Bearer better, even though I didn't think I would. It's nice because it does come with 10 rounds or 10% crit chance, an extra 30 round mag, so you have 60 total, stability, and crit damage on the muzzle. Like I said about my other guns, the stats on them don't matter. I don't ever shoot them. I use one for protected reload and one for in rhythm. Protected reload gives you 10% armor when you're reloading. And in rhythm, which is more important than the protected reload, is you have a 5% chance to refresh your skill cooldowns when you kill someone. You can get it to happen once every 60 seconds. The reason you want that is for your drone and reviver hive. More often your drone. But as far as gear goes, the basis of this build is Berserk. So I've got this really badass chest here. I've rolled it to almost 50,000 health. It's got 12.5 crit chance and 5.5 weapon damage. Preferably, this weapon damage would be higher. I would be willing to sacrifice some health if this was higher, but this is a pretty badass chest. Berserk, 10% weapon damage for every 20% armor that's missing. So you get a total of 50% weapon damage when you have no armor. Hard hitting gives 10% damage to elites, and it rolled an offensive system mod, which is pretty nice. So we've got on this one 6% more assault rifle damage. The next most important piece is the gloves. Since this is a clutch-based build, you want to have high crit chance with clutch. These gloves right now are the Murakami gloves. They've got health, assault rifle, which could be rolled up to 12, and clutch. Critical hits restore 20% health and 1% armor. Keep in mind, this is 20% of your missing health. So if you're almost dead, you're going to get huge amounts of heals. If you're almost full health, you will get basically no heals. So it's not as good as some people think. It didn't actually get buffed to 20 when they changed it. I'll go over a potential glove swap at the end of this for the future patch. But those are the two most important pieces. Everything else, you're going to want to make sure you try to get your crit chance as high as possible and put damage to elites or health where you can. So my mask is Wyvern. I'm running the 3-piece Wyvern set for the crit chance and the crit damage. Don't really care about the drone's skill power, but hey, I do use a drone, so it's okay. We've got damage to elites on it. I've never been able to find a better damage to elites mask. I have one that's 39, but it's not even worth rolling onto this right now. I'm waiting until I get something in the high 40s. And it's pretty solid here. We've got hard hitting on there and a health roll. So that is the mask. Backpack. This is a pretty hard to get backpack. This is a newest addition to my build. I'll show you what backpack I used to be running before I swapped to this. This is now rolled to 9% weapon damage. I unfortunately missed out on that 10.5 backpack. My clan was too high of a level and I didn't buy it, so I only have the 9% one. Can roll this higher. I think it'll let me probably recalibrate this to around 12%, maybe 12.5, I'm not sure. But it's also got crit chance, just enough to keep me on my crit cap. I think I have 60.5 total. It's got a nice chunk of health and hard hitting and vital. Unfortunately, the mod is yellow, not red, so that kind of sucks. And right now I have my only generic mod that I'm using, which won't be working in Title Update 4 anymore, is this one. It's just headshot damage. I don't have any assault rifle generic mods. I've never went out of my way to farm them. So, feels bad. But it's a good backpack. This is the other backpack I used to wear. This put me up to 178,000 health. I rolled it to 37,000 health. It has 5% weapon damage for crit chance, so I still stay at crit cap. Safeguard is useless on it, and it has vital. So I gain like 16,000 health with this backpack and a red mod slot, which you can get 6 to 7% damage output from the red mod slot, but it doesn't have, hard hitting. So overall, I factored it in, and I'm happier with this backpack because I can actually roll this eventually to the same amount of damage that the mod slot and the weapon damage from this one will give me. Plus, I gain the 10% damage to elites. And I lose a little bit of health, but 16,000 health is not very noticeable. I've already got a nice chunk. I think I have overkill health than what I really need right now. So that's what I currently wear. If you don't have backpacks like these, just look for something that has really high health, enough crit chance and weapon damage, and either vital or hard hitting. The actual talent itself, like safeguard or whatever, doesn't really matter. You're looking for more of these passive talents on backpacks. I already went over my chest and gloves, so we're going to move on to holster here. Wyvern holster is what I run. This one's rolled to 16% crit chance. It could be higher if I ever found something higher. I think you can get 16.5, but it's only at 51 plus 51 on its score. It's got hard hitting and a red mod. Keep in mind, right now this is a red protocol mod, but when the patch comes out, this will just be considered a red mod. So I will be able to put your system red mod slots in here, or mods in this slot, which means I'll be able to get 6 to 7% more damage out of this mod slot, and I'm really happy about that. There's other holsters that are going to become really good, like Heligard. I can roll this here to like 14.5 crit chance, I think is where it caps out, and it has 2 red mod slots. So you could run, 2 6 or 7% damage modifier mods in this. You don't have the hard hitting, so I'd prefer this, but you do gain, like this has 25,000 health, and that's pretty nice. So keep your eye out for Heligard holsters. They could be potentially best in slot for your build if you need that blue attribute somewhere. So keep your eye out for that. As far as knee pads go, they're pretty basic. They're just some Wyvern knee pads. They've got 8.5 crit chance and hard hitting with an offensive protocol mod. And just like the holster, this protocol mod is just going to turn into an offensive mod slot, and I will actually be able to put, 6 or 7% damage on this. So I'm pretty excited for that change. The change to the mods is actually buffing my build, unlike most people's builds that were depending on a lot of extra damage from them generic mods. I'm actually happy with the change. So that pretty much covers all my gear. Skills, really recommend the Defender Drone. It's pretty much really important. When you get low on health, what you need to do is pop this drone, and you don't want to heal. You want to stay, or not low on health, low on armor. You want to pop this drone, and it will protect you from dying, and you can just, have your berserk up and do a ton of damage while you're low armor. Now, when it dies, you can, kill things, and hopefully you're in rhythm, will bring it back fast. I do have it modded. It's not that important. I actually put both my sharpshooter mods in there. One's for duration, one's for cooldown reduction, and I put this auxiliary battery in there so I have enough skill power for them. I run a Reviver Hive for the raid. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you die, it'll bring you back to life, or you can use it to bring back a teammate. I would like, an increased radius mod for this, just so it's got more of a range. But so far, I've just got 2 batteries in there. They're doing absolutely nothing, just looking cool. And make sure you're on regular grenade for the raid. And I think that covers the build. There is something to look for in the future here, and it's gloves. So check these out. Alps gloves, I think, are going to become best in slot for damage builds. The reason why is you can get red mod slots on them. Currently, they're protocol, but that's going to just change to a red mod slot, and you can put, weapon damage. Imagine these being 12% assault rifle with a 7% damage increase from your mod slot, and clutch, or if you're not running a clutch build, either hard hitting or headshot damage on your passive talent. These are something to really look out for. I've actually got 2 pairs of them, and they're pretty rare, but I just found this newer version. Still looking out for one that's similar to like this with precise on it or damage to elites, but I just don't have them yet. The problem with that is then I would lose the Murakami's 8% health, and I would lose the health roll on it. I'm going to try a run the next time I do a raid with these Alps gloves, and I will go down to 136,000 health, but I want to see if I can still stay alive. It's going to be Sketcher, and I don't know if I'm going to like it, but when the patch hits, I will be able to be doing more damage, so maybe I'll like it better, but I don't know. Preferably, if I was to change anything on this build, I would have a Wyvern backpack with these same stats. Hard hitting, vital. It's got to be the pogo stick, the Pygo backpack for Wyvern for that to happen, with similar stats here, which would open up the ability to drop a piece of Wyvern, which would be my mask. Then I would run a Murakami mask to get that percent health back on it with similar attributes, damage to elites, health, hard hitting. I actually have a perfect mask for it, but I just don't have that Wyvern backpack yet. And then what you can do is wear those gloves I was showing, and you should be pretty happy. You will then have an extra blue slot. I would be at only 3 blues, so where you get that extra blue, I don't really know, because you would need Wyvern for the holster still to get that 3-piece. So you're kind of left with 3 blues like that. But even with 3 blues, if I had the other Murakami piece, I would be at around 145,000 health, I think, with the other swap, and I think I'd be happy with that. So as far as everything else goes, you can choose between, currently, before the new patch comes out, Sharpshooter or, you know, Survivalist for the raw 15% assault rifle damage, but I actually prefer Sharpshooter. And this build is really, really good. I've been running it in the raid. It's a different playstyle than I was used to, so it took a little bit to kind of just adapt to it. But overall, I really enjoy it. And I'm not going to do any gameplay because I don't have a raid group ready to just run. But if you check out my stream, twitch.tv/Inigo Montoya, I run raids pretty regularly. I work on new builds regularly, min-maxing. I stay in my stash almost 24/7 just looking at loot and trying to figure out what to delete. But I will show you how much damage this thing does. It's crazy amounts. So let's proc tenacity on this thing right here. And here we go. Oh, I didn't quite get it all. Because I suck. I can clear all of these if my aim is good in one magazine. But obviously, I'm just kind of sucky right now. But I've got it down to like 4.4 seconds. I just am really bad, so I apologize. All right, here we go. This is it. I feel it. Oh, come on, game. Come on. Give it to me. Just not having it. Not having it. But man, the damage output, as you can see here, is really, really crazy. There we go. What? Oh, I'm blind. I am blind. But yeah, there you have it. The build is really, really awesome. I highly recommend giving this build a try if you have the gear. And thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out my... Here, people always ask, do a fucking... whatever this thing's called, a DPS test. This shit's really inaccurate, and I don't believe in these, but I'm gonna do it just so that people don't complain about it in my video. So here we go. Oh, I have no ammo, so that's not gonna work. Here we go, guys. Just for the people that like to complain. Pretty decent. I've seen it over 2 million sometimes, but it's pretty consistent with oops. Well, I just killed it there. But it's pretty consistent. It's around 2 million DPS, I'd say. Here we go. Why are you so far away, bro? So yeah, pretty much fails, but it's really, really awesome. I'm not gonna post some exploited DPS numbers here. Someone's telling me, shoot the body for 2 million. Let's do it, because the body's actually also headshots, which isn't gonna be like that in the PTS, thank God. They're getting rid of that, or in the new patch, they're getting rid of that red number there. There we go, body shots for over 2 million. Oh, fail. This is just full of fails right here, guys. I apologize for all of my epic fails. Let's get some big numbers here. For the screen cap. For for the thumbnail. This is it. Willis Gaming. 2 million, done. Okay, there we go. We're happy now. But thank you guys for watching. Check me out live, Twitch TV/Inigo Montoya. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the other builds. See you later, guys.